Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. The mid-air collision between an American Airlines jet and an Army helicopter near Washington, D.C. is feared to be the deadliest U.S. air disaster in nearly 24 years, with all 64 people aboard the plane and the 3 soldiers aboard the helicopter presumed dead. A statement from the U.S. figure skating team and Russia's state news agency confirms several members of the figure skating community were aboard the jet, as well as 2 world champion Russian figure skaters. Officials say the collision marks one of the worst aviation tragedies involving both a commercial aircraft and a military helicopter, recalling past disasters like the 1977 Tenerife airport collision, the deadliest in aviation history, and the 2002 Uber-Lingen mid-air crash. Investigators are now trying to determine how the Army helicopter entered the jet's flight path as crews shift from rescue to recovery efforts in the frigid waters. In international news, on Wednesday, Hamas gave Israel the names of the next 3 hostages to be freed under the Gaza ceasefire deal. One is a civilian female, one is a female soldier, and for the first time under this arrangement, a male will be released, an 80-year-old. In addition to the 3 Israeli hostages, Hamas will also likely release 5 Thai citizens who were taken in the militant group's October 7, 2023 attack in southern Israel, according to an Israeli official and mediators. This deal came into effect on January 19th. The Trump administration rescinded its memo calling for federal agencies to pause potentially trillions of dollars in federal grants, loans, and other financial assistance programs, a day after a federal judge temporarily blocked the order. The White House on Wednesday issued a memo to federal employees reversing the original memorandum. The 2-line memo, sent just after noon by Matthew Vaith, the acting director of the Office of Management and Budget, said the previous memorandum is rescinded. If you have questions about implementing the president's executive orders, please contact your agency's general counsel. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said this action should effectively end the court case and allow the government to focus on enforcing the president's orders on controlling federal spending. Former U.S. Senator Bob Menendez was sentenced to 11 years in prison on Wednesday after being convicted of accepting bribes in the form of cash and gold bars and acting as an agent of Egypt while selling his political influence to businessmen. The sentence was handed down by U.S. District Judge Sidney Stein in Manhattan, who told the former senator he had lost his way by using his position for personal gain. Menendez, tearfully addressing the judge, expressed regret for his actions but asked to be judged for his overall record of public service. Prosecutors had asked for a 15-year sentence, while Menendez's team sought a sentence of less than 2 years. Menendez resigned from the Senate after his conviction and was forced to relinquish his role as chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Wegmans is recalling frozen, fully cooked breaded chicken breast nuggets sold in 8 states due to bone fragments being found in some of the products. In the recall issued on January 24th, affects 46-ounce plastic packages of Wegmans Family Pack fully cooked breaded chicken breast with rib meat, with a best use by date of July 26, 2025. The affected products were sold in Delaware, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. While there have been no reported injuries, customers are urged to discard the product or return it to Wegmans for a refund. For more information, call Wegmans at 1-855-934-3663. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Home fire deaths have been cut in half since the early 70s when smoke detectors were first marketed. Having smoke detectors in your home can double your chances of survival in a fire. 60% of residential fire deaths occur in homes without smoke detectors. Thus, smoke detectors must be present on each level of habitation. Photoelectric smoke detectors are required within 20 feet of a kitchen, bath, or shower. They are required on the ceiling outside bedrooms no further than 10 feet away. They are also required to be present on the ceiling at the base of stairwells. Additional placement may be required depending upon the year the home was built or when a substantial addition was added. Create a safe home environment. Maintain your smoke detectors. Thank you for doing so.
Welcome back. Now let's dive into some top stories happening in Braintree. The Braintree community is coming together to support a family who lost their home in a devastating 2-alarm fire last weekend. The fire, which started on the rear porch of a home on Franklin Street, left the property a total loss, but fortunately, no injuries were reported. The town is rallying by organizing a clothing and gift card drive for the family. The elderly father and his son are both in need of clothing and footwear. Donations of new or gently used clothing, as well as gift cards to local restaurants, Fasano's Marketplace, or stores like Target and Walmart are being collected. You can drop off donations now through Sunday at the Makers Market at 1000 Washington Street or at a neighbor's porch on Saturday, February 1st, located at 1031 Washington Street. Additionally, a GoFundMe campaign has been set up to help replace items lost in the fire. Braintree's South Shore Plaza is celebrating Lunar New Year with a traditional lion dance performance on Saturday, February 1st at noon in the mall in front of Macy's. The event will feature Yi's Southern Lions, a Quincy-based school dedicated to sharing Chinese culture through dance and martial arts. The lion dance, accompanied by drumming, symbolizes luck and prosperity while promoting values of respect, discipline, and family. The community is invited to join the festivities at 250 Granite Street in Braintree. The Braintree Senior Center is hosting a variety of activities for residents aged 60 and older this February. To sign up, call 781-848-1963 after 9:30 a.m. starting on February 3rd. Regular events include free movie Fridays at 1 p.m. and Learn to Play Pool with Kathy every Thursday, open to both men and women at 12:30 p.m. Special one-time events include spa day chair massages for $15 by appointment, bingo on February 5th at 1 p.m., bingo size on February 11th at 11:30 a.m. as part of the SSES multi-purpose program, and a special Valentine's Day celebration with a singer-musician-entertainer on February 14th at 1 p.m. Braintree Elder Affairs is once again partnering with the AARP Foundation Tax Aid Program to offer free in-person tax assistance for residents over 50 and those with low to moderate incomes. IRS certified volunteers will be available to help with both federal and Massachusetts state tax returns every Tuesday from February 4th through April 1st, 2025. Appointments are required and scheduling begins on January 22nd by calling the Department of Elder Affairs at 781-848-1963. Braintree's Parks and Recreation Department is hosting a February vacation snow tubing trip to Blue Hill Ski Area on Tuesday, February 18th. The trip is open to kids ages 7 to 13 with a $35 fee covering tubing and round-trip transportation. The bus departs from 74 Pond Street at 5:15 p.m. and returns at 8:30 p.m., traffic permitting. Participants must be at least 42 inches tall, wear winter footwear, and have a signed waiver from a parent. Registration is now open. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. On Monday, January 27th, Governor Maura Healey issued a written policy regarding the use of non-disclosure agreements in executive branch offices and agencies, including for employment claims. Governor Healey said, quote, "From day one, the Lieutenant Governor and I prohibited the use of non-disclosure agreements in our administration. Today, I'm issuing a formal written policy for all executive department offices and agencies that codifies the policy that's already in place," end quote. This comes after the release of a 150-page report by State Auditor Diana DiZoglio that showed that taxpayers have been on the hook for over $40 million as the result of years of non-disclosure agreements between the state and its employees. DiZoglio wrote in her report, quote, "There is a risk that confidential language may be used to cover up harassment, discrimination, or other unlawful behaviors, potentially allowing perpetrators to continue to remain in their position and engage in further unlawful behavior," end quote. DiZoglio's report looked at settlements between 2010 and 2022. A deadly construction accident in Weymouth claimed the life of a 29-year-old man and left 4 others injured when the roof of an unfinished home collapsed around noon on Tuesday. The victim, Mario Diaz Obando, of Fall River, was critically injured and later died at South Shore Hospital. 4 other workers suffered minor injuries and were taken to a local hospital. The collapse occurred at 19 Vine Street next to RK Mart and is under investigation by local police, state authorities, and federal safety agencies. Witnesses reported strong winds at the time of the incident, though no one saw the collapse itself. A construction site in Quincy was rocked by a scaffolding collapse Tuesday morning, with 4 stories of scaffolding crashing down at the corner of Washington and Edison Streets, likely due to high winds. 2 workers who were on the 3rd floor managed to jump to safety onto a balcony and avoid injury. Witnesses reported seeing another worker jump as the scaffolding fell, but fortunately there were no injuries. Images showed a white van crushed by debris, and another section of scaffolding was seen swaying in the wind. Occupational safety and health administration officials are still investigating. A bomb threat left on the voicemail of Quincy High School on Monday, January 27th, prompted an investigation by Quincy police. Principal Keith Ford sent a letter to parents assuring them that the threat was deemed non-credible and that no students or staff were in danger. While the source of the threat remains unknown, an increased police presence was at the school during dismissal. Superintendent Kevin Mulvey stated that any further information will be shared with the school community as it becomes available. Red Line riders start preparing for another service disruption. Service on the southern portion of the Red Line will be suspended for 2 weekends in February as the MBTA works on signal upgrades. The closures will impact travel between JFK UMass and Braintree on February 8th and 9th and February 22nd and 23rd, but won't affect Valentine's Day plans. Free shuttle buses will run between affected stops, including North Quincy, Wollaston, Quincy Center, and Quincy Adams, while commuter rail lines serving the area will be fare-free. The MBTA says the upgrades will improve service reliability and safety. Similar service suspensions are also planned next month on the Orange, Green, and several commuter rail lines. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in sports and entertainment. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now here's Chris Curran with the latest on Braintree High School sports.
Braintree win 2 of their last 3 games, with a win to Durfee, a loss to Brookline, and a win to Wellesley. They move on to be 11-3 on the season. Let's see some highlights from the Wellesley game. Braintree comes out the gate shooting threes.
5 for 3!
This 3, at the end of the quarter, puts them up by 8 going into the second. Braintree then had a sloppy second quarter allowing Wellesley to cut the lead to only 3 going into the half. Braintree went back to their shooting and their good defense in the third quarter, giving them a 10-point lead going into the fourth. Wellesley was able to put up a shot right at the buzzer, but the ref said the clock had already hit 0. Wellesley was able to go on a 7-0 run to start the fourth quarter, but Braintree held them off, winning the game by 15 points. Braintree then goes on to play versus Walpole, at Weymouth, and at Needham this upcoming week. While the girls won all 3 of their last games over Quincy, Brookline, and Wellesley, let's see some highlights from the Quincy game. Per usual, the Braintree girls started off slow in the first quarter, only scoring 6 points to the Quincy 11. But in the second quarter, both the offense and defense heated up, only allowing 2 points while scoring 16. The third quarter was all in favor of Quincy, scoring 16 points to Braintree's 9, giving Braintree only a 2-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Quincy went on a run in the fourth quarter, giving them a big lead, but Braintree was able to crawl out of it and tie the game 41-41 to put it into overtime.
Try from Zolano, ties the score.
Braintree held Quincy to only 4 points in overtime, allowing them to claim victory. They go on later this week to play at Walpole, versus Weymouth, and versus Needham. Braintree boys hockey lost to Brookline 3-1, and in the Ed Burns Coffee Pot Tournament, they tied Reading 0-0. This week they go on to play Walpole, and in the tournament they play Tewksbury, while the girls lost to Boston Latin 4-0, making them 2-10-1 on the season. They go on this week to play at Walpole and home versus Weymouth. You can catch live and rebroadcasts of these games on Comcast Channel 9 or 1073 for HD, Verizon Channel 28 or 2128 for HD, our YouTube, BCAM TV, or our website, bcam.tv. Let's send it back to Martha in the studio.
Thanks, Chris. Now we have 3 movie recommendations for you to watch. First, Paradise stars Sterling Brown and James Marsden. This political thriller centers around a Secret Service agent who is assigned to protect a former president when things go awry. The twists and turns of this 8-part series will send the viewing audience on an entertaining ride to find out who killed the former president. You can watch Paradise now only on Hulu. Up next, Zero Day stars Robert De Niro in his first starring TV show role. He plays former U.S. President George Mullen, who's in charge of the U.S. government's Zero Day Commission, a task force dedicated to investigating a devastating global cyber attack known as Zero Day that killed 3,402 people. However, things take a turn once he discovers there's a chance that the horrific attack came from people inside the government. You can watch Zero Day only on Netflix. And finally, Missing You is a Netflix TV miniseries adapted from the thriller novel by Harlan Coben. The story is about a New York police detective, Kat Donovan, whose life is upended when she discovers her estranged ex-fiancé on a dating app, which leads her to reopen the case of her father's unsolved murder 11 years earlier. As she investigates, she realizes some secrets are better left in the past. You can watch Missing You on Netflix. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. You can also now see us in high definition on Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.